shift in fame. By the age of just 22 years old, she released a greatest hit album and was one of the most recognizable figures in music. How many artists you know have enough hits at the age of 22 to put out a greatest hit album? Just saying. All of her wildest dreams became a reality, but achieving unimaginable stardom became too overwhelming. The paparazzi and media. The paparazzi and media violated Britney to the point that she was almost destroyed, like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Amy Winehouse, Marilyn Monroe, Ledger, Anna Nicole Smith, Prince, and many, many others. She was stalked and harassed, publicly embarrassed, publicly scrutinized, and expected to be picture perfect. It felt like everyone was against her, and everyone was. She was targeted. Despite all odds, Britney has continued her legacy. Since 2013, she performed at her massively successful Piece of Me residency in Las Vegas and released her ninth studio album, Glory, in August 2016. But after all she accomplished, does she really need to prove anything? Britney Spears is a pop legend, cultural icon, and a mother. But most importantly, and the one thing I think everyone forgot, she is human. She is human. From Britney Spears herself. Dear fans, it's so funny how many stories are put out there about people. It's like we all want our side on the story out there. But at the end of the day, only a few people care to hear what is really going on, since the bad is always so much more entertaining and interesting than the truth. I used to be angry at the tabloids for printing horrible things about me, but now I try to just be numb to what I see. 1981 in Macomb, Mississippi, and raised in Kentwood, Louisiana. Her parents were Lynn Spears and Jamie Spears. She had a big brother by the name of Brian and a little sister by the name of Jamie Lynn. For anyone who has no idea who her little sister is, she was part of the Nickelodeon family. She had a show called, it was either Zoe or Zoe, one of them, 101 or something like that. It was actually a big hit on Nickelodeon, but she got pregnant and she didn't act or do anything for the next 10 to 12 years. Just a little fun fact. But her parents, Jamie and Lynn, had a terrible relationship that resulted in an unstable upbringing for their children. Their home in Louisiana was often filled with tension, partially due to Jamie's reported alcoholism, gambling, and of course, money problems. However, the constant spat between their parents seemed to be the biggest weight on Britney's shoulders. In one of the interviews, she said that she was so happy when her parents got divorced because it was just arguments and arguments and arguments all the time, screaming and yelling. So, their uncle, William Spears, spoke about incidents that occurred when Britney was just a child. One time, Jamie, the father, was drunk and tried to drive off with Britney in the car. She was no more than 5 years old. I tried to stop him. We got right into it in the car, right there next to her, fighting and all. Britney was jumping up and down, crying and screaming, he recalled. Britney was close with her mother Lynn and their family friend Felicia, who would alternate traveling with the young singer as she began her career. However, her father Jamie was reportedly absent for a large portion of Britney's early years of stardom. I just wanted to sneak that in there, that he was absent, because it just boggles my mind how her father wasn't present during her stardom or come up, but yet he had full control over everything. We're gonna get to all of that. I just wanted to point out that he was not around for a large portion of her early years of stardom. In 2021, the New York Times released an episode about Britney's life in which former Jive record executive Kim recounted, "I never talked or spoke to her father. The only thing Jamie ever said to me was, 'My daughter is going to be rich. She's going to buy me a boat.'" Listen, let me just, that man. From a young age, Britney was always fixing to be a star with idols such as Madonna, Mariah Carey, and Whitney Houston. Those are three big names in one sentence. Madonna, Mariah Carey, and Whitney Houston. The young Britney could always be heard singing no matter what else was going on around her. After taking extensive dance and vocal lessons and performing in numerous talent shows and fairs, Britney auditioned for the Mickey Mouse Club in 1989 when she was just 8 years old. However, she was too young for that part. Instead, Britney, her mother, and her baby sister moved to New York, where she starred in several TV adverts and an off-Broadway play called Ruthless, where she was the understudy with Natalie Portman. Her love of music and dance took over, and 2 years later, she auditioned again for the Mickey Mouse Club, and this time she was 11 years old, and she got the part. And she won the part alongside with Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake. I also want to mention that if you know anything about NSYNC, that guy JC Chaz, I think that's how you pronounce the name, was on there, and also too Ryan Gosling was also on the Mickey Mouse Club along with Britney. From being on the Mickey Mouse Club, she received extensive training in dance, drama, and singing, and had to grow up a lot during that time. However, after the show was canceled 2 years later, Britney returned home and did the normal teenage thing. Now, could you imagine that you were on a Broadway show, you were on commercials, all this stuff, winning competitions, and then you went on the Mickey Mouse Club? 2 years you were on that, and then you had to return to go back home to your raggedy ass high school. Could you imagine? But she returned home to do normal teenage things, attending pool parties, and she was also the homecoming queen. As a young teenager, Britney soon grew restless again, and this time she was desperate to become a star yet again. Once again, she traveled back to New York and set out demo tapes to various labels, including Sony. Everyone turned her down, except for Jive Records, who finally took the young Britney on and set out to making her the star she is today. So, everything seems to be normal, if I say so myself. You know, not everyone's upbringing with their parents were good. A lot of people came from divorced homes. You know, so all I'm saying is nothing really seems to show that she was, you know, a bad child, a sad child, a depressed child. She was just trying to make her mark in the world so far. She hit the studio with writers, producers, and she came out with her first debut album in the late 1998. Now see, Britney, I was mad at you for this one, because in late 1998, I do believe it came out like in September, she released her debut single, Hit Me Baby One More Time. Now, I graduated in June 1998. How dare you put that music video out after we graduated? I mean, I was from a Catholic high school. I mean, we wanted to dance down the hallways too. Like Britney, you couldn't like push up that video. So, Hit Me Baby One More Time, which was a pop hit around the globe, accompanied by the 16-year-old first of many controversial act. Her video, which featured Britney dressed in a Catholic schoolgirl uniform, bearing her midriff. If you don't know what bearing her midriff means, it just means showing her stomach, which soon became her trademark. Again, anytime you saw Britney, her shirt was always tied up and showing that her flat, perfect abs. Anytime you saw Britney, her abs were showing. And let's be real, Britney Spears is a reason why many of us, including myself, got like our belly button pierced. Hello, because Britney did it. Duh. But I'm telling you, everyone, like I said before, everyone wished they could wear jeans the way Britney wore her jeans. Nonetheless, the single was a smash worldwide hit, and Britney was an instant household name. She toured with popular boy bands like NSYNC, and the single shot to the top of the charts for 3 weeks. Her debut album was released a few months later in the early whether it could be out or not, we would have did the damn thing. We would have had our little boys in the background dancing. I promise you, we would have reenacted that video. I'm just thinking in my mind, like, after we found out about that song, we were mad. We were mad as hell, like Britney. We actually are in Catholic school. Anyway, let me get off that. Alright, so our next act was to take the cover of Rolling Stones magazine in a suggestive pose. Now, this magazine cover, I don't know why it caused so much controversy, if I'm being honest. She wasn't nude, she wasn't naked, she had on like a robe or like an open t-shirt, she was laying down. Yes, she had like a bra on, but it also could have been like a bikini top. She had on a pair of shorts. Yeah, they were tiny, but they were shorts. I did not see the big deal about it, but that was the next issue people had with Britney. But at the age of 17, Britney became more and more popular, appealing to young girls, teenage boys, and older men. Britney was on her way, yet nobody could have predicted at this time the impact she would have had on pop culture. So basically what they're saying is she just shut up. Like, she was the it girl. She was that girl. Everybody wanted a piece of her. Anything she did touch went platinum, gold. Everybody wanted a piece of Britney. Her second single, Sometimes, which I also have, was released in June 1999, followed by the hit Crazy. I like that song. That I'm like picturing that music video. Anyway, that hit on Crazy in September, and From the Bottom of My Broken Heart soon after. Britney ended 1999 selling over 10 million copies of her debut, and as a Billboard top female pop artist, top new pop artist, top Billboard 200 album artist. I mean, this girl had so many titles. She won so many awards. She was breaking charts left and right, left and right. Nobody could touch Britney. She won awards at the American Music Awards, MTV Teen Choice Awards, and then she was nominated for 2 Grammys by the early 2000s. So she was moving, okay? At just 18, Britney released her second album in 2000, the smash hit Oops, I Did It Again, and the single on the same title. So anyway, that album did Oops, I Did It Again, Stronger, and Lucky. But around this time is around this time Britney was beginning to raise more than a few eyebrows, and I think this was the problem, because Britney came from Disney and she was growing up in the public eye. Nobody wanted her to grow up. Everyone still thought she was this Disney pop star. No, she was human. She was a woman, and she went from 16, 17 to 18 to 19. At 18, she was just dropping her second album. She was growing up, but nobody wanted this girl to grow up. They wanted her to be like 10 for the rest of her fucking life. It was crazy. It seemed some people weren't too happy with the message she was sending their impressionable young children. Impressionable. Listen here. People have to take accountability for their own actions and what happens in their own household. Okay? Like, if your child can watch Madonna, really? Like, it's just like this girl was targeted, and she, like, was expected to be just a role model of this, of that, this and that, and she didn't ask to be none of that. She just wanted to make music, dance, and grow up like everyone else. I your teenage daughter. Let me not even go there. Again, people have to take accountability for their own fucking household. So on one hand, Britney was this perfect picture of innocence, declaring herself a virgin until marriage. Now that was probably one of the biggest mistakes she did, but again, it was probably her management team. I don't know where she made this announcement, but it was all cameras on her, and it seemed as if it was at a press. I'm not sure what it was at. And somehow, everyone knew that she was dating Justin Timberlake, which we'll get to in a second. And somehow, the topic of sex came out. And she went on to say that, she hopes when she does have sex with the right person, and she won't wait till marriage. I mean, she went into this whole innocent speech about waiting and sex and this and that and peer pressure, and she wasn't gonna do it. And no matter what, I mean, she gave the answer you would give to the fucking Pope. Okay? So it was like, okay, again, she had these hits, right? By the way, Baby Hit Me One More Time. It wasn't until I started researching Britney, I did not know that song was a problem. I did not think people thought that song had to do with abuse. It never crossed my mind. Baby Hit Me One More Time, to my eyes, was like, hit me with that love again, or hit me with that, I don't know, Cupid. I did not, maybe I never sat there and thought about it, but I never in a million years thought Baby Hit Me One More Time had to do with domestic violence. Say what now? So anyway, she's this innocent looking girl. She's doing a video, Catholic school uniform. You're talking about waiting to have sex, all this stuff. So I guess in the public's eyes, she was this innocent girl. But did they really think she was gonna stay like that forever? But anyway, so on one hand, Britney was a perfect picture of innocence, declaring herself a virgin until marriage. Yet on the other hand, she was sexually charged and provocative with performance, such as the MTV Music Awards in 2000, when her costume made her appear nude. Okay, let's stop right there. So, the MTV Music Awards in 2000 was the shit. I remember watching that performance, because back then MTV Music Awards, that's where you wanted to watch all the performances. You knew your artist that you loved was gonna be on it, and everyone. Britney put on a hell of a performance. Everyone looked forward to Britney's performance. It was what it was. And I remember she came out in this suit attire with a little tie and a hat, and at one point she tore it off, and it looked like she was nude. She clearly had on a nude bodysuit with rhinestones, and girl, she had on her sneakers. You're not gonna see Britney Spears without her sneakers. Although I do want to say though that Britney, you had a lot of things going for you, but one thing you did not, girl, you needed practice with that lip syncing. Girl, you were you and Mariah Carey. The lip syncing, girl, she didn't even bother. But see, Britney Spears was allowed to get away with stuff like that because her choreography on stage was crazy. No one ever expected Britney to be singing through that shit. And she danced. It wasn't like a 1-2. She danced. She got down. She was spinning, doing splits, all types of shit. But the Music Awards in 2000, when she tore off that outfit, all I kept saying was, you go Britney. I was like, you go Britney. I was just like, she's growing up. But the fact that it gave an illusion like she was naked, she wasn't. But y'all, that started some shit. The tabloids with her MTV Awards, that just with the media constantly fixated on what she was doing and wasn't doing, down to her rivalry with Christina Aguilera. I did not really dwell on that. I mean, it's like Brandy and Monica. I don't really think there wasn't really a spat going between Christina Aguilera and Britney. They were the same age. They were, you know, I don't know. I just think the media tend to like pin them together. And then they were fixated on her relationship with Justin Timberlake. Britney was keen that people saw her as a growing woman as she began to ready the public for her next album release in the late 2001. So, moving forward, in November, she hit the top 10 with the sexual charge, "I'm a Slave for You." That is probably one of my top songs from Britney. Not only the lyrics, but that beat was sickening. And if you did not know anything about Britney's body, then you damn sure knew it on this video. "I'm a Slave for You." Good God. Beautiful video. I think the colors were vibrant. I think she did her thing. I think it just shocked people, the fact of what she had on, and that she was into womanhood. Like, she was 19, 20. So around 2001, she would have been like 20. But "I'm a Slave for You," which took a completely different turn in a musical direction from her previous singles, and in the same month released her third album, which was called Britney, which shot to the top of the album chart, breaking records for a female artist. Then her performance back with the MTV Awards. Her performance, "I Am a Slave," that performance was the bomb. But our performance for the MTV Music Awards for that caused outrage among animal rights campaigners as she performed with a live giant snake and wearing little herself. Yeah, she didn't have much clothes on, but I couldn't figure out the whole snake situation, why people were so mad. It wasn't like she mishandled the snake. It wasn't like the snake was in danger. It wasn't like she was mistreating it. I could not figure out why people were outraged. She had the snake around her neck and she danced, and then she passed the snake off to whoever she had to pass the snake off to. I cannot believe that people made such a big deal of that performance because of the fucking snake, but nobody wanted to talk about her dancing. That live performance, Google it. So around this time, people thought that Britney was starting to go downhill, and truth be told, I think I would say that the breakup with her and Justin Timberlake, I think for me, started really dooming her reputation, and we'll get to that in a second. But her third album, while still impressive, was not as high as her other two albums. They say maybe it was due to the increase of new pop female singers flooding the market, yet Britney, still incredibly popular, carried on. Like, the album didn't flop or do bad, it just didn't do as well as like the other two albums. But by then, I think we had like Destiny's Child and Christina Aguilera, and Pink was coming into play, and so we had other artists actually coming about. But you know, then she when she was around 20 years old, she released that song, "I'm Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman." That was a hell of a song, if I must say so myself. That came from the soundtrack of her debut movie, Crossroads. I'm sorry, Britney, but that movie wasn't it. That movie was not it. And I do believe your sister was in that movie too, if I remember correctly. It just wasn't it. It just was not it at was on top of their shit. Yet it seemed it was all getting too much for Britney. Her 4-year relationship with Justin Timberlake ended suddenly and very publicly, and she soon announced she was going to take a 6-month break. That's it. She wanted to take off. She wanted to have fun. Think about it. From the moment she was 8, she was trying out with the Mickey Mouse Club. Then she was in a Broadway play. Back to the Mickey Mouse Club. Then she did some high school stuff. Then she got an album. Then she had a single. Then music videos. All of it. She never had time off from the time she was 8. Like, give her a fucking break. So now she wanted a 6-month break, right? But this is where I think, in my opinion, things really started taking a bad turn. Because remember, she had this image that she was trying to stand, and Justin Timberlake did not help the situation. And I just want to say before I forget, he has, since the Free Britney thing, he has come out and publicly apologized for his actions. He actually acknowledged that he didn't help the situation. He knew what he was doing. Back then he was young. It was all fun and games, but now he realized how much damage it actually did. But in 1999, Britney Spears began dating her Mickey Mouse Club co-star and fellow pop sensation Justin Timberlake. The couple seemed like a match made in heaven, frequently attending red carpets and other public events that they had. Who could forget their matching denim ensembles at the American Music Awards in 2001? Yes, loves, they came in matching denim outfits. Back then, I guess it was a thing that couples would like wear matching outfits. Britney did say though that was probably like the worst or stupidest mistake they ever did, but it is what it is. And so, until it was revealed in 2002 that Timberlake broke up with Spears over her supposed infidelities. Now, this became a problem because he started talking about their relationship. Justin Timberlake would talk to anyone who would fucking listen. He would talk to anyone that had a microphone, had a radio station, anything. He just started talking. Now, he was with Britney for like 4 years. He knew what the management was doing, was trying to do, keep her innocent and everything else. He was around when she did that whole interview with, sex before marriage. He was part of all of that. He knew exactly how this shit worked. And here he comes after their breakup, telling everybody about their sexual acts, what they did. He would laugh about it. He would put her down. He said things like she sucked in bed. Like, he started giving details after this girl, after you've been with her for 4 years, and knowing that would have damaged her reputation. Okay, then the I'm Not a Girl, the singer was painted as a villain in the tabloids, with many siding with Timberlake in their breakup. It all came to a head when the NSYNC singer, so Justin Timberlake, had the audacity to record a song called Cry Me a River. You can do whatever you want, but he released a music video that featured a Britney Spears look-alike. So my thing is, whether you were hurt or not, right? You knew how this industry was. You knew what it was going to do to her, and you did absolutely nothing. You played into it. Then you're gonna write a song, Cry Me a River. Okay, get your feelings out. But for you to have a Britney Spears look-alike in your video, that was crazy. While detailing in the music video and in the song being cheated on in the song. Then Britney Spears released a song called Every Time, a song about wrongdoing someone and causing them pain. In her tear-filled primetime Sawyer. She pressed Britney on the cheating rumors. Britney refused, and this is what I'm saying. Nobody that I have read interviews, anything, no one has ever said that Britney was ever nasty or disrespectful. She was never trying to embarrass anybody. She was never trying to bring anyone down. She was not trying to play that game, but people were doing it to her. And even after Diane Sawyer was pressing on the cheating allegations, infidelity, all of it, the only thing Britney Spears had to say about Justin was, "I will always love him. He will always have a special place in my heart," she said. And then she later added, "I'm not technically saying he's wrong about the infidelities, but I'm not technically saying he's right." Having her name publicly dragged through the mud, then being questioned on camera about the rumors, it was certainly a difficult year for the young pop star. The way she handled herself in some of these interviews, I mean, she handled herself better than grown-ass people would have. I'm trying to get some tissue if you're wondering. Please hold. So, let's recap. Britney is in her early 20s. She had her third album out, and now she has broken up with Justin Timberlake. Her relationship is on every newspaper, tabloid, magazine possible. Justin is now singing and talking to whoever would listen, telling all her business, doing a music video about her, all of it. Everything is now starting to crumble down. And then she told the world that she is taking a 6-month break. While she may have been on break from her career, she was by no means breaking from the media, who followed her relentless. You have to understand, this was not like a Kardashian situation. The Kardashians they want the camera in their face. That's what they live for. Britney had no choice whatsoever, okay? They would snap pictures of her doing every little thing. She had no privacy whatsoever. It was ridiculous. You could not go into a pharmacy, a grocery store, without seeing Britney Spears on some type of magazine, tabloid magazine, whatever. They were so keen to track her down and find out what she was up to. Britney was increasingly letting her pop princess crown slip, admitting she had lost her virginity to Justin Timberlake outside of marriage. She had no choice. He was telling all of it. I felt so bad, all of it. And as a woman, the man is getting probably high-fived and, oh, you slept with Britney Spears. Meanwhile, she's being bashed, ridiculed, everything. Could you imagine? And this is not like, your high school is talking about you. The whole world is talking about you. Britney could be seen smoking and drinking she was seen smoking and drinking and some wild party nights. So what? Now, this bothered me because, again, she was working from the age of 8. Now, when you were 21, 22, what the fuck were you doing? My point exactly. If you're 22 now, what have you done in your life? So, for the first time, if Britney wants to go to a few parties, or hell, if she wants to go to a party every single day for 6 months straight, she has earned it. Again, she has done world tours. She has done 3 albums. She has had a contract with Pepsi, Coca. Get the fuck out of here. This girl could not do anything. Nothing was right. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So she could be seen smoking and drinking to excess on wild nights and divorce and her bitter split from Justin Timberlake. Britney was linked to men such as Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit, and openly kissed Colin Farrell at a movie premiere. However, she seemed to get herself back together for her new album release in 2003. Now she's going for her fourth album, okay? Her fourth album. And you know, our little breakdown during these interviews, she was breaking down because she could not understand why people were just so mean. They were so mean. But she was getting it back together, and now she's going for her fourth album in 2003. And a blitz of publicity, which included the infamous Like a Virgin performance and Madonna kiss at the MTV Music Awards in August that year. Now listen, this is where I have to say it was a no for me. It was an absolute no for me. And it wasn't even about the kiss. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, Google the MTV Awards 2003 Like a Virgin performance with Madonna and Britney. So Madonna was performing, and she actually had Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears. Now I think the two came out because, again, the world thought that these two hated one another. I think it was to prove that they didn't. Whatever. But it was awkward because they're performing, and Britney and Madonna turned to Britney, or Britney turned to Madonna. I don't really think it matters at this point, but I think for me it was because I knew how much older Madonna was. It just bothered me. I knew it was a publicity stunt. I think the whole world knew it. I don't think anyone even thought for a second that they thought they were a couple. But I think the highlight of that whole performance was Justin Timberlake's face in the fucking audience when they kissed. Y'all need to pause this video right now and go Google that shit on YouTube. Justin Timberlake's face was priceless, along with the rest of the audience. But because we knew about like Britney and Justin's relationship, it was priceless. Like his face, he looked bothered. He looked disgusted. I think his face said what we were all thinking. I don't know. It was just weird. It was weird. Then Madonna and Britney actually had a song together. It was called, okay, so the new album In the Zone was a bid to be seen as a woman. Alright, so what they're saying is the new album caused a lot of talk, and there was two songs on there, Breathe on Me and Touch of My Hand, which was about masturbation. So you're trying to tell me that you never heard of a 20-something-year-old masturbating? Like, it's crazy to me because, like, people are doing that shit right now as they're watching my video. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me right now? Because she made a song about masturbation, she's fucking 20-something years old. Get the fuck over it. Get over it. Like I said, many of you just masturbated or probably masturbating while watching this video. Like, it's part of life. Get over it. But that was such a big deal for people. I do want to throw out here though that I don't see my song anywhere listed on here. That song, Womanizer, Womanizer, Womanizer. He's a womanizer. That was my shit. I think that was from like the Circus album or something. Was it even called the Circus album? I don't know, but I like that song, Womanizer, though. Okay, so, but anyway, the appeal of Britney was still there, and that album, In the Zone, topped the Billboard's 200 charts again. she was doing her thing. Now, 22, something seemed to be missing. But it seemed as if Britney was in a lot more control over her career, yet her personal life was still seemed to be slipping. Now, it wasn't like Britney was in a tabloid like Jennifer Lopez as far as like multiple partners and stuff. Matter of fact, I honestly really can't think of anyone. Like, the only people she really was tied to was like Justin Timberlake and her husband Kevin Federline or something. But on January 3rd, 2004, Britney got married to childhood friend Jason Alexander in Las Vegas. Personally speaking, I think these two were just having too much fun and was in Vegas gambling, drinking, smoking, doing God knows what, and just got married. Do you know the percentage of how many people actually do that in Vegas? People meet people and then like they meet someone and then like in 24 hours they're getting married. Again, Britney's human. It's the same thing. Although this was a childhood friend, they got married. I will never forget when that shit was plastered on the TV. Britney Spears was married, but why? Within 2 days it was annulled. I think the family saw this and was like, oh shit, we need to clean up her image, and they made her get an annulment. But neither one of them has come out and said that they actually wanted the marriage to go ahead or it was the right thing to do. I think they were just, it was just one of those fucking things, you know what I'm saying? Or a joke, or not even joke. I think they were drunk. I think they were in their feelings for a minute and just went for it. But anyway, the marriage was annulled 2 days later, and bye-bye Jason. Britney soon released one of her biggest singles, Toxic. That was my shit too, which topped various charts around the world, including the UK and the Canadian singles charts. The single was a smash hit and silenced any critics that said Britney no longer had what it took to make a comeback. She soon began her highly publicized and overly sexual tour, the Onyx Hotel tour, which was cancelled a few months later after Britney damaged her knee during a video shoot and had to receive medical treatment. Yeah, that was, there was pictures of that. She was in a whole cast, like, to her knee, whatever. But have you noticed that this girl always worked? Do you realize she always worked? She is always working, dropping singles or whatever. No matter what anyone said about her, she kept on working. She, like, you cannot say that Britney Spears was a lazy artist or is a lazy artist or was, because I'm not really sure if she's putting out music now, and why should she? Fuck it, live your life. You got your millions back, damn it. I wouldn't. But yeah, she damaged her knee and had to get surgery or something, and then she had to be on bed rest for like 3 months. So the other singles on the album included the gold-selling Every Time, which topped the UK single charts, and like usual, also carried a fair amount of controversy for its video, which allegedly depicted the star committing suicide after a fight with her boyfriend, played by Steven. However, this was changed to an accident in which she drowned yet reincarnates. I don't know what they're talking about. By this time, I think I stopped watching videos. Music videos were starting to fade out for me. So, but let's get to some real good stuff. It was around this time that Britney began dating Kevin Federline, a former backup dancer who she had taken on tour with her a few months previously. But here's the snag though. Here's the snag here was that Kevin came with baggage, and a lot of fucking baggage. I remember when she first dated Kevin, yo, the streets were talking, the streets was talking. In the form of an ex-girlfriend, heavily pregnant Moesha Shar Jackson. Yeah, I do not know how this story took over the world. Like the fact that, Kevin had a pregnant girlfriend who was about to pop, but then left his pregnant girlfriend for Britney Spears. It just was a whole lot of, and he also had kids. I think he had, let me see, right, so they had a child already born, and she was heavily pregnant when Kevin met Britney. So let's reread that whole sentence. The snag here was that Kevin came with baggage in the form of an ex-girlfriend, heavily pregnant Moesha Shar Jackson, and their young child. Kevin and Shar split before the birth of their second child. Britney and Kevin soon became engaged on June 7th and was married by September 18th that year. So they were engaged by June 7th and married by September 18th in a secret ceremony, but weren't officially married until October 6th. That same month, Britney released a single off her upcoming greatest hit album, a cover of Bobby Brown's 1988 hit, My Prerogative. That song is so fucking, like, I'm so happy that she did that song. Like, that song, My Prerogative, probably fit Britney Spears more than actually Bobby Brown. Like, it just was right. It just was right. Britney was a changed woman, no longer concerned with the public thought of her and her appearances and everything else. She parted ways with her manager. Alright, so anyway, let's talk about this marriage to I guess her baby daddy. But before we even get into that, we just need to understand once again how this girl was hounded by the paparazzi. Cameras constantly in her face, and I'm not talking about one or two cameras. I'm talking about like 80 to 100. Like, she couldn't stop at a stoplight, or a stoplight. If she did, there would be like 30, 40 paparazzi just swarming her car. She couldn't go forward, she couldn't go backward, she couldn't even get the fuck out if she wanted to. There is so many things on YouTube and everything else that we actually see, like Britney going to get a coffee or something, or getting into the car, and like for the last second, even as she's closing the door, there's camera snap, like trying to get every single shot, trying to get the most provocative shot, the ugliest shot, and they made sure they never had Britney looking like good. They always, like, the tabloid, they did her dirty. And 98% of the time, she would try to be nice and gentle and ask them to please move and stop and please. Again, there's only a few times that she told the paparazzi to go fuck themselves, but see, at that point, they deserved it though. I promise you they did. But she never even really got mad with the paparazzi. But like, there was this scene, or this whatever I was watching, and she was waving to the paparazzi, and she was getting in the car, and this guy just put his hand as she was closing the door, so like the door was closed on his hand, but he was still snap. And even someone was like, dude, like, get your hand out of the 2000s were an even less forgiving time in the media, because at that time in the paparazzi, there was no rules, there was no laws. They practically can do whatever they wanted back then. It was new to everyone. But when Britney, and like Britney was first, and then everyone else followed, because, well, we'll get to that. So the 2000s were an even less forgiving time in the media. Amy Winehouse was even granted an anti-harassment injunction against the paparazzi in 2009. Like, enough is a fucking enough. And you know what? Now, like, as I was doing my research with Britney, I found myself clapping out of nowhere, because it brought me back to that moment when Kanye, wasn't he the one that was effing up the paparazzi? Like, I get it. Like, dude, get your picture and go. If you want your picture, like, we need some boundaries here, But it comes about when you're starting to hurt the celebrity, or the celebrity got children, just putting things in it's too much. When a celebrity can't even stop at a fucking stop sign, a traffic light, causing accidents because people are in the middle of the road, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like, there was a couple of times too when Jay-Z was about to fuck up a paparazzi, because I think B was holding Blue when she first was born, and they almost like knocked her over. Like, there has to be boundaries. But see, back in the 2000s, early 2000s, there was absolutely no boundaries whatsoever. For Britney Spears, being one of the most famous stars at the time meant everyone was after photos. And they also made sure they got photos that depicted her in a less than favorable light. That's what I'm saying. They made sure they got like all the acne. They made sure they got her when she first woke up. There was paparazzi that was putting cameras like through her windows at her house. Like pictures of her like picking her wedgie out of her bathing suit at her own. It was just outrageous. And I know there was times that Britney probably opened up the magazine or newspaper and was like, how the fuck did they get that photo? Crazy. The popularity of celebrity gossip bloggers like Perez Hilton fueled the fire, and celebrities like Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, and Britney Spears weren't seen so much as people, but rather entertainers the media could easily exploit. Lindsay Lohan was probably another one that they just would not leave alone after a while. It was like after they got bored of Britney, they went after Lindsay. It's just, I don't know. In 2008, Nick Stern, one of the photographers in the Britney pack, a group of paparazzi who trailed Spears. And that's another thing, like Britney did have certain paparazzi that she had a certain relationship to. She felt safe around them. You know why? Because they were like, enough with the pictures. They would actually help the other paparazzi like step the fuck off. You know what I mean? Britney understood that you need the photos, but can you just take your photos and go? Can you like take your photos from like the sidewalk? You know what I'm saying? Can you take your photos like when I'm actually out on the street? Do you have to like be in my bushes? Do you have to like, the paparazzi were renting helicopters to go over? I couldn't get her like to go over her house. Do you know how much it is to rent a helicopter? I can't. Then, okay, so this one photographer in the Britney pack, a group of paparazzi who trailed Spears, detailed the dangerous and cruel methods he actually witnessed in an interview. In one particular incident, there was a speculation Spears continued to be front page news, and it wasn't until the New York Times released their documents framing Britney Spears that the media took accountability for pushing the toxic singer too far. Absolutely. The media is 99% to blame for half of her downfall. It absolutely is. Are you kidding me? No. So, anyway, let's get back to her marriages. So again, the biggest year for Britney was in 2004. She tied the knot twice. We mentioned that. One with her childhood friend Jason Alexander in Vegas, but they got that annulled. In her second walk down the aisle, she married her former backup dancer Kevin Federline. They had 2 sons together, Jaden and Sean. But the couple split up in 2006 and their divorce was finalized in 2007. But when I tell you every part of her divorce was publicized, was photocopied, was put in the paper, there was no privacy whatsoever, like at all. She had 2 sons, okay. They split, okay, everything was finalized in 2003. Okay, in the documentary, for the record, she spoke about her marriage to Kevin Federline. I think I got married for all the wrong reasons. Instead of following my heart and doing something that made me really happy, I just did it because for just the idea of everything. So again, she's still a girl. She probably wanted to love that fairy tale, romance, the white picket fence, all of it. And because she was in the public eye, it was I guess she felt as if she had to do this shit. I don't even know. Speaking with people in 2008, Kevin Federline said, "I didn't give her an ultimatum, but I was trying to work stuff out with her, and she didn't even talk to me or anything, and went behind my back and filed for divorce. I was completely blindsided. It was a huge shock. What ensued was a difficult custody battle. Following their divorce, Federline and Spears co-parented their sons, but after Spears was placed under psychiatric hold in 2008, her ex-husband was awarded full custody, and she was ordered to pay $20,000 a month in child support." Now, in 2006, now we're going to talk about a couple of, stuff that you guys might remember or Britney is famous for. In 2006, the paparazzi captured Britney Spears driving with her infant son Sean on her lap, sparking controversies. A few more incidents, including photos of her son in a car seat facing the wrong way and Spears stumbling while holding Sean, led to the public labeling the Gimme More singer an unfit mom. She actually broke this shit down for me. So, the 2 pictures of her son, the one with the son on her lap, according to what she said, that was a paparazzi's fault. She said that, I don't know if she was at Starbucks or whatever, but she was somewhere, and the paparazzi were trying to take pictures of her and her son. They wouldn't let her close the door, all this stuff, and then when she did close the door, they started shaking the car, Britney, get out. Britney wanted pictures, started shaking the car. So instead of waiting for whoever she was waiting, she got scared and put the car in drive and tried to speed the fuck off. Now, listening to other celebrities when it comes to children and the paparazzi, there is this one Kanye went off, Kim went off. There's supposed to be a certain level when it comes to the children, and this was one of them. You know, anyone who's a parent right now, you can even imagine if you're trying to protect your children and then the paparazzi are coming and you're trying to shut the door, they won't let you shut the door, and now all of a sudden they're violently shaking your car back and forth. Like, anyone would want to get out of there. And of course, because there's there's about 150 cameras on her, they got that one photo. Am I saying it was right? No, but again, we're human, and you know, any one of us, if it was endangering our children, would take off. No one would sit there and wait to put the child in a car seat or whatever. You're gonna drive like maybe a block or two, then get your holdings, you know, make sure you got out of the danger first. She didn't do it because she was crazy. She didn't do it to purposely endanger her child. She did it in fear of the paparazzi. Period. The end. Like, there's nothing else to be said about at this point. That's why she did it. You know? And then another picture, this whole card seat thing. The card seat wasn't faced the right way, but in whatever state she lived in, it didn't have to be faced that way. Again, because she was Britney Spears, the public wanted her car seat. The public wanted the car seat to face the way they wanted. But in the state that she lived in, there was nothing wrong with the way she had the baby seat. Like, like, people are gonna do what they want. People are gonna raise their children the way they want to. But because a seat belt is not the same color that you want it to or whatever, you know, that was a problem. But I definitely looked into the whole car seat situation, and by numerous accounts, no one said she did anything wrong. And I think it was the state of no, I don't want to say California, but whatever state she was in, the car seat can be faced either way. So she did nothing wrong. And then this is the one that I said, okay, this shit reminded me of Beyonce and Kim Kardashian. There was a video of the paparazzi, and she was holding one of her sons, and she almost fell. And like, okay, so say this is the baby. She was holding the baby, and she almost fell, and the baby went like this, but she grabbed him just in time. Now, let me do that shit again. She was walking, and then she fell on the sidewalk. Well, she didn't fall, she almost fell. So she and when she did that, like, oh my god, the baby said like this, but she grabbed the baby right again. It wasn't like the baby hit the floor or nothing like that. Now, she explained that she was actually in New York when that picture was taken, and she explained that although she had her bodyguards or whatever, and she was prepared for the paparazzi, she was not prepared for how many was waiting for her in New York. When she got out the car or whatever, she said her anxiety got the best of her. There were so many paparazzi, she's never encountered that many. And it made her nervous. And as she's walking, they're taking pictures and pictures and pictures. So again, the paparazzi, either it got caught up or she got nervous or whatever. But they were like, they wouldn't, like, and you hear her bodyguards telling everybody to move. No one's listening. So now she's getting out the car. She's trying to get to wherever she needed to get inside. And the paparazzi almost made her fall. And when she fell, she had her baby, but the baby didn't fall. It was like, whoa. And she, you know, if you look at that picture too, right when the baby almost like fell or slanted, the bodyguard, whoever that was right underneath it. So even if that child did fall, it wasn't hitting the ground. The baby was not, the little boy was not, that precious angel was not gonna hit the ground. But it just reminds me of, like, even like down to BTS, you know, the paparazzi is ruthless. And now I see why when people are breaking cameras and breaking windows and trying to run and disguising themselves, and people are like getting doubles and lookalikes just to be able to walk out of their house. It's crazy. just wanted to definitely mention those three things with her children, because if I'm not a parent or a mother, but I have heard stories, and there have been times that people have been rocking the child and fall asleep, and the baby almost people get tired. Things happen. Things happen. Does that make you a bad mother? Absolutely not. It makes you human. But when you're tied into like the paparazzi and strangers and not knowing who's gonna hurt your child or whatever, you know. In February 2007, Spears walked into a hair salon and shaved her head, which would become one of the most highly publicized moments of her life. Now, this was weird because, it's from my understanding, this kind of happened when, I think she lost custody of her children or something like that. She got really bad news, and she was just tired of the paparazzi, and she walked into a salon, and she wanted her haircut, and the person at the salon was like, no. Britney was like, okay, bitch, I'll do it myself, and she did it. But the crazy thing about this behavior was that people, do y'all hear my stomach? I'm so hungry. It is 7:15 and I haven't eaten anything at night. Actually, I'm starving. But they said though, when she walked into the hair salon with that whole shaving her head, she kept looking out the window. She kept pulling back the curtain. It was like she wanted the paparazzi to see this. At this point, I think Britney was having her breaking point. Everything is being publicized. Her relationships, her divorce. She lost her children. It was just like a whole lot going on. And I think the breaking point was when she lost full custody of her children and just went crazy. There are other stuff that I read, like one time she had the boys and she locked herself into the house and she refused to get the boys back to Kevin's bodyguard. I guess she had a visitation and say it was 8 o'clock. She was supposed to get the kids back at 8, but she didn't. She decided to lock the door, lock the room, and then of course they had to come get the kids, and then Britney was off to the psych ward once again. She kept going in and out of the psych ward, in and out of rehab. But the funny thing is, I kept saying the word rehab, but I really couldn't find out what she was in rehab for. Was it for rest? Was it for alcohol? Because if you really Google Britney Spears' life, you really don't hear her being an alcoholic. Yeah, people have drinks here and there. There's been some speculation of pills, but nothing to the point that made me think that she was an addict. Weird. But anyway, so yeah, there goes the famous her shaving her head. Then when she shaved her head, it says when people asked her about her hair, she was like, it was, I don't want anybody touching my head. I don't want anyone touching my fucking hair. I'm sick of people touching my hair. Again, I think this was her breakdown. I think she was just tired of the world. She was tired of being acting like she was okay. I think she just had enough, if I'm being honest. Then following that incident, Spears checked into a rehab center and continued to display concerning behaviors. Unfortunately, by this point, her reputation was badly damaged and it took years for her to rebuild it. Following her head shaving incident and months spent in rehab, Britney Spears lost custody of her sons but was rewarded visitation rights. She and Kevin attended a custody hearing in which they were ordered to refrain from using alcohol or non-prescription controlled substance within years, so I don't know. But she was to refrain using alcohol or any non-prescription controlled substance within 12 hours of seeing her children. Based on certain evidence, the court found it was a frequent and continuous use of controlled substance and alcohol only by Spears, though. Spears was the only one that had to get or submit regular drug testing. And the crazy thing about it is, if you dig into Kevin Federline's history, it's weird that the judge never asked, him to do the same thing. Britney didn't party by herself at one point, so it's just weird how she was just targeted for all of it. It's like he did no wrong. I don't know. And like I said, I am sticking up for Britney because somebody has to. And I'm not saying, being an alcoholic is cool or drugs, whatever, but it's just weird how, like, she's not really labeled as an alcoholic or drug user. She's labeled as being a mess. She's labeled as, being in the tabloids, and her whole life has been displayed. But, and she did have a problem, then absolutely, reframing. But the fact that they say refrain from using it for 12 hours, that doesn't seem like for a judge to say, okay, well, you can go ahead and continue with the drugs and alcohol, just not 12 hours prior for the kids. That makes me think that maybe it wasn't like a big deal. I don't know. Alright, and then of course, a couple people have sued, Britney's camp for this, for that. In 2012, Spears' former manager and supposed friend, Sam Ludwig, sued the pop star and her family for defamation. He told the jury that Spears liked to use amphetamines, so maybe it was his testimony that said that. I don't know if it's true or not. Most everything that went wrong was because of this drug. He also claimed that the reason Spears shaved her head was to beat a drug test. However, the singer's mom, Lynn Spears, responded saying that Sam had attempted to take over Spears' life and had been drugging her with prescription medication used to treat bipolar disorder and schizophrenia by crushing and mixing pills into her food. Ultimately, a restraining order was leveled against him and he was no longer able to interact with Spears. That's something else that I kept coming up in this search about Britney. It seemed like this Sam dude, I don't know, it seemed as if like he was there when she was younger, and as she got more famous, it was like he tried to control her. And there's been so much speculation that he was crushing stuff in her food to keep her, I don't even know, to keep her what. But I did see that a few times. How true is that? I don't know. Like, there's speculation that Beyonce is on drugs. That could be true, but in the public we don't see it. But then again, behind closed doors, who the fuck knows? I don't know, but let's just say that Britney was not into the hard shit. If anything, she wasn't into like cocaine or needles or meth or nothing like that. It just seemed as if she was on some type of medication, maybe for mental, maybe for sleep anxiety, but nothing, from what I gathered anyway. If I'm wrong, please let me know down below. Then her father fell ill in 2018. Britney Spears' relationship with her father had been complicated, to say the least. In 2018, he fell ill, was rushed to the hospital, where it was discovered that his colon had ruptured. After, my stomach is not happy right now. successful operation, the pop star took to Twitter to let her fans know she will be canceling her Las Vegas residency, stating, "It's important to put your family first, and that decision I had to make." Spears added that her father almost died. Following a second surgery in March 2019, Jamie was in recovery. Shortly after, Britney Spears checked into a center for supposed an all wellness treatment center. A source close to the family told People, "Her dad being sick has taken a toll on her. There is nothing dramatic going on with her. She just realized she needed to make sure to take care of herself." However, it was later revealed by Spears in an audio recording that she was forced into treatment by her father under the threat of being taken to court. I have not spoken about the conservatorship yet, and I'm about to now. I just wanted to put her whole, her life out. She was born, what led up to all of this. Now, the funny thing is, Britney Spears was still in this conservatorship when her father got ill. That's why I wanted to lead up to this conservatorship. So the fact that she canceled her shows and everything else for her father, for the one person who probably did her the most harm in 10 years, just goes to show you how much control Britney's father had over her. It's the craziest thing. So let's talk about this conservatorship that was placed for 13 years. See, when they had the whole Free Britney movement, I really didn't know for what, if I'm being honest. I didn't pay much attention. I always liked Britney's music, but as she got older, so did I. And I just wasn't keeping up with Britney as much, but I always saw Britney in the tabloids though, all the time. But the Free Britney movement, I had no idea what that was about. This shit was on Hulu. This shit was on everywhere. It was hashtagged. It was all of it. I had no clue how serious this whole situation was until I did her story. Alright, I'll just read this paragraph. So, during the period in which Britney Spears displayed concerning behavior in 2007, her mental health was brought into question and she was placed under psychiatric evaluation twice in 2008. During this time, a conservatorship was put into place, with Spears' father, Jamie, becoming her conservator, meaning that he was in charge of the singer's finances, career decisions, and personal life. I have no idea how this man did this. I have no idea. I have no idea how this man did this. Because if anything, you would think her mother would have been the one that would have had charge over the singer's finances. It was Mama Dukes who helped her when her career was popping, bringing her to New York, all of it. The father wasn't present. Even Jive's record executives said the father wasn't present. It was all mom. So how the hell did this man was able to pull this shit is beyond me. In a since deleted audio recording, Britney Spears explains the entire conservatorship was a setup. "I know now it was all premeditated. This shit is sad as hell. A woman introduced the idea to my dad of the conservatorship, and my mom actually helped him follow through and made it happen. I'm still confused remove your IUD. Could you imagine your father's telling you what friends you can have, what friends you cannot have? Your father even told you when you can see your kids. When, how, what time, and where. He controlled all aspects of your finances, your credit cards, your homes, everything. This girl couldn't take a shit without passing it by her father. She can do absolutely nothing. She couldn't even say, yeah, I don't like that dance move. If she spoke out of place, it was back to rehab or like back to like the psychiatric ward. This shit is crazy to me. I don't know what judge signed off on this shit for 13 years. Granted, even if the judge was like, you know what? I've been to the grocery store. I've seen what's happening to Britney Spears in the tabloids. You would think that this girl would get re-evaluated after a certain period of time. No, this shit went on for 13 years. Nobody would listen to her. Nobody would help her. It was like every time we think Britney was ahead, her father's was like 2 steps ahead. The one doctor that was on her paperwork and stuff, the one that claimed that she wasn't able to take care of herself, he was actually in that documentary. I think it was one on Netflix. And even after we know his name is put on the file, this man is like, well, I'm not gonna tell you if I saw Britney or not. I'm not gonna tell you if she was my client or not. It's like, dude, you're busted. Tell us why you thought she was incapable of taking care of herself. Why did you actually check the box that she had? My stomach is pissed that she had dementia. Like, when I saw that box, when I saw that paperwork for her conservatorship, and all the boxes they checked, and the reasoning why, I could not overlook that box that was checked with dementia. I was stuck on stupid. You're trying to tell me that a 20-something-year-old had dementia, but yet she's still going on world tours. She's still doing residencies. She's remembering choreography. She's making all of her appointments, but yet she got fucking dementia. Are you kidding me right now? A conservatorship is usually for people who are old, right? For the older generation, like who actually has dementia or who can't take care of themselves. That's when someone steps in, like my mother, right? Her sister, my aunt, had dementia, and my mother moved her in from Florida up here and had complete control over her finances, all of it. But that's because my aunt couldn't do it. She literally didn't know her fucking name. But Britney, I don't know what happened in the 2000s. I don't know if maybe her father like paid somebody off, but so this is the time. Let's talk about this conservatorship real quick. Oh, that's everything Britney said in court, but I just wanted to break down the singer's conservatorship case explained. Why was it actually set up? Okay, the singer began having erratical behaviors in 2007 after her divorce from Kevin was finalized and she lost custody of their 2 children. That's when, like I said, that's when she just lost her fucking mind. And, you know, a series of public incidents raised concern about her mental welfare, with the star making headlines for shaving her head and hitting a photographer's car with an umbrella. That's when she told the paparazzi to go fuck themselves. That's exactly when she told them to go fuck themselves. When she hit the photographer car with an umbrella, they would not leave her alone. I think she was at the gas station or something like that. She just wanted to pump some fucking gas. It was like she just had enough. In 2008, she was twice admitted to hospital under a temporary psychiatric assessment ruling, including after an incident in which she allegedly refused to surrender her sons in a standoff involving police. I explained one of her children. I feel as if at that moment she was like, it's not fair, it's not fair. Didn't say her decision was right, but this doesn't make people crazy though. This makes people human. A temporary conservatorship was established around this time and made permanent later that year. So it originally started, it was only supposed to be temporary, which at one point I can actually say I agree with. If Britney was going downhill and she's, getting in trouble and, not giving the kids back, shaving her head, if people thought, she needed help, cool. A temporary conservatorship, that makes more sense. A temporary, cool. I understand that maybe the parents were afraid for the child. I get that. I get a temporary one until she gets help, until she gets her shit together. I get that. 13 years though. 13 years. In a recent court filing, her father, Jamie's lawyer, had said the conservatorship was necessary to protect Britney in every sense of the word. They said her life was in shambles and she was in physical, emotional, mental, and financial distress. Now, I'm just curious because if I'm not mistaken, there has been many other celebrities that's probably had much more money that we watched, waste stomach. Let me get through this video. We're almost done. Yeah, there's been many celebrities that have made money, that wasted on drugs, that did this, that did that. Has for instance, Michael Jackson, although he had a lot of money, he wasn't the best spender. He wasn't. He would buy anything that fucking moved. You see what I'm saying? But it's your money. Do what you want. Again, if you wanna be in the tabloids and do whatever, fine. If your actions took away your children, okay, cool. I can understand all of that, right? But for you to have complete control over someone's entire life, it's crazy. Like, even down to Wendy Williams, they tried to have that bullshit done by her too, and she wasn't having it. But that only lasted, I think, 6-7 months, if I'm not mistaken. 13 years. Again, I get it. Celebrities might need help. 13 years. 13. Okay, a conservatorship is granted by a court for individuals who are unable to make their own decisions, like those with dementia or other mental illnesses. Spears' conservatorship was split into two parts, one for her estate and financial affairs, and the other for her as a person. Again, I have never heard of this shit before, that someone who can walk, talk, memory, dance, residency, what the fuck? Jamie Spears was in charge of both, but stepped down as his daughter's personal conservator in 2019, citing health reasons. Now, I'm glad they said that, because the only reason, I don't want people thinking that, the hashtags and the movie and all this shit helped Britney's situation. It did not. I'm gonna read to you what Britney said in court before I end this video. But even after that, she was fucking denied. It wasn't until her father literally stepped down because of health issues, and when she got her life back, it was her father who did that. Not one judge, court, lawyer, nothing. Even after she spoke, nothing. It was because this man got ill and stepped the fuck down. Unbelievable. I need to know who was on this man's payroll. I need to know how he did it. I need to know who he threatened. of as a conservator of her financial state in September 2021. It was replaced by an accountant chosen by Britney and her lawyer. And another thing, this girl couldn't even get her own lawyer without her father signing off. She couldn't get a TV. She couldn't get a goddamn TV dinner. Like everything. Like this man even had like audio and video in her bedroom. What? In the years under the conservatorship, Britney Spears released 3 albums, and even after she was so delusional and crazy and this and that, she was still able to release 3 albums, held a successful Las Vegas residency, and made numerous television appearances, including a judge on X Factor. What in the actual fuck? Does that sound like someone who has dementia? Does that sound like someone who can take care of themselves or make personal decisions if you can get on camera in front of a live studio audience or live worldwide, whatever you want to call it? But she can say if she wants pickles or peppers. Get the fuck out of here. I can't. What does the conservatorship control? The conservatorship has power over her finances and career decisions, plus major personal matters such as her visits with her teenage sons and whether she can get married or not. So if her sons say, "Mom, let's go to the zoo," she gotta look at Dad. If her son's like, "You know what, Mom, let's go to the zoo from like 10 to 10. The father says, "No, how about 10 to 2? It's like she had no control over nothing, not even what she wore, down to her clothes. This was not a child. She couldn't even say who she wanted to date, her friends. Like, she couldn't even be a mom to her. She told the court in June, "I just want to be able to get married and have babies. I was told right now in the conservatorship I'm not able to get married and have a baby. The conservatorship won't even allow me to remove my birth control." They did not want her getting pregnant. They wanted that girl to work so she can make them more money. She also said she was forced to go on tour, made to take medication she didn't want to, and go into rehab. Again, that medication thing keeps popping up. She couldn't even take a Tylenol without someone saying yes. Whatever medication she was forced to take, she had to take it. Whether it was a higher dosage, lower dosage, she had no say so in nothing. I can't even stress to you, like the shit you're doing now, watching YouTube, watching me. She wasn't allowed to do that. Are you kidding me? Without her father's approval? Absolutely not. Court records obtained by New York Times showed that it reached even down to the color of her kitchen cabinets. She couldn't even pick out the colors of her kitchen cabinets. Are you fucking kidding me? A documentary made by the newspaper also alleged that the singer's phone and bedroom had been bugged by security staff working for her father. And that's how they knew her every single move. That's how they knew the move before she did. That's why the father was always 4, 5, 6, 10 steps ahead of her. You know, people were trying to help her. They were like meeting her in bathrooms. They were signing forms. People did try to help. I can't say no one did. People try to help, but somehow they either got spooked of her father, or paperwork would just disappear. Things would just go missing. It just happened. That shit is let me just see something real quick because alright, I was gonna read you one more thing before I let you guys go because I held you guys too long, but it says here that Britney Spears blames her mother for ruining my life with the conservatorship. Maybe this will give me a little bit more insight on how the father got it and not her. Alright, so the star's father, Jamie, has been the public face of the legal arrangement. That means the pop star has minimal say in her personal and financial affairs. The singer then claimed it was her mother, Lynn's idea. What people don't know is that my mom is the one who gave him the idea. She said, I will never get those years back. But I thought she said, in a now deleted Instagram post, she continued, you know exactly what you did. My dad is not smart enough to ever think of a conservatorship. But tonight I will smile knowing I have a new life ahead of me. I don't know. I don't know why she thinks her mother. I'm so confused. Her father filed paper to have the conservatorship terminated in September. Yeah, but that's anyway. So I think the moment of truth has come. So I'm gonna end this video on what exactly was said in court by Britney Spears, because we all know the outcome now. She's free. She's free to do whatever she wants. I do believe she got remarried. I do know that she was pregnant and unfortunately she had a miscarriage. But Britney has money young enough to get a surrogate, or she might still be young enough to get pregnant again. If I'm 43, that means Britney must be like 40, 43, 42. Or she'll be turning 42 actually in December. But you know, she's now living her life, so we know what happens. But I think to end this whole video is, as humans, we have to remember that celebrities are human beings too. We all do things that people might not like, you know, but at the end of the day, again, we are all human and we're all trying to do this thing called life together. And so, let's see. So I'm trying to see, reading out a prepared statement. The star recalled the arrangement abusive and said she was traumatized. I just want my life back, she said via the phone in her 23-minute appearance. It was the first time the star has spoken publicly about the conservatorship, which began in 2008, when concerns over her mental health prompted her father Jamie to petition. After hearing her remarks on Wednesday, Mr. Spears' lawyer issued a statement saying he is so sorry to see his daughter suffering and in so much pain. Mr. Spears loved his daughter and he misses her very much. Get the fuck out of here. You didn't know you were doing her harm. Like, your daughter's asking you to start a family and she's asking you if she's able to remove her IUD, but you didn't know she was suffering, right? And like I said, wasn't for, I think, the Free Britney movement, I don't think the father would have given up conservatorship. I think he was under pressure. And, she also goes on to say that I want to be able to get married and have a baby. I was told right now in the conservatorship I'm able to get married and have a baby. The 39-year-old is currently in a relationship with a personal trainer, whatever, Sam. I cannot pronounce his last name. I'm not going to try. She told the court that they could not start a family because the conservatorship, which controlled her medical care, refused to allow her to remove her birth control. She says, I have an IUD inside of myself right now, so I don't get pregnant, but this so-called team won't let me go to the doctors to take it out because they don't want me to have any more children. Because they wanted her, like I said before, to work. So basically, this conservatorship is doing me more harm than good. Then she went ahead and said that Britney claimed that her management threatened to sue her in 2018. Remember when her father got sick? If she didn't complete the 31-date Piece of Me tour, which included dates in London at the arena. Yeah, I think this is when Britney's father got sick. And I couldn't figure out why she was running to his rescue or whatever. But at this point, after doing more research, when this 2018 tour came about, she actually put her foot down. Like, after her father got sick, she was like, you know what, I'm not doing a goddamn thing. I am not touring. I'm not doing nothing. Y'all can kiss my ass until this conservatorship is dealt with. I don't know if it happened in 2018, but at one point she just stopped all performances. I was like, you know what, fuck that. You can't make me go on stage. You guys have ruined my life enough, so you know what, I'm not doing a damn thing. My management said if I don't do this tour, I will have to find an attorney, and my contract, my own management could sue me if I didn't follow through with the tour, she told the court. It was very threatening and scary. And with the conservatorship, I couldn't get my own lawyer. She couldn't even obtain her own attorney. So out of fear, I went ahead and I did the tour. Could you imagine someone's telling you with your money that you can hire a lawyer and that, we can sue you and the management can sue you for millions? And remember, she was working all this time and didn't see a fucking penny. They canceled her credit cards. She couldn't buy a home without her father's approval. She couldn't do anything, like anything. She said the managers falsely told her therapist that she was failing to take her medication and refusing to participate in rehearsals. Well, if she didn't go to rehearsal, how the fuck did she do the tour? She said her managers, I read them, when she objected to a piece of the dance routine, it was as if I planted a huge bomb somewhere, she added. Ma'am, talking to the judge, I am not here to be anyone's slave. I can say no to a dance move, and that's interesting, and I'm glad she spoke out, because damn it, if you can't even say on your own tour, on your own concert, I don't like that dance move, or I don't get it, or nah, that don't look right, you get sent back to rehab, or you get threatened with being sued. That's fucking insane. Like she says, ma'am, I'm no one's slave. I can sit here and say medication she did not want to. The star said she had no control over her health care, alleging that doctors put her on lithium, a mood stabilizing drug, after she canceled her Las Vegas residency in 2018. Again, this is where I think, whether they want to say that was because her father got sick, whatever, I think Britney then put her foot down and was like, I am not performing. Lithium is a very, very strong and completely different medication compared to what I was used to, she told the court. You can go mentally impaired if you take too much, if you stay on it for longer than 5 months. After beginning the medication, Britney said she felt drunk and couldn't even have a conversation with her mom or dad, really about anything. So the medication kept her spaced out. She had 6 different nurses that were sent to her house to monitor her condition, and they wouldn't let me get in my car to go anywhere for a month. She even had to get permission to get behind her own vehicle and drive down the street and back, just for a little freedom. That's all she got. I think at one point she was only like allowed 1 hour to herself a day. Just insane. Britney also expressed anger that her family had not intervened, saying they did not do a goddamn thing. The 2 people on this earth that was supposed to protect you didn't do a goddamn thing. They made you work like a slave as they collected money, and you, my love, didn't even see a dime of it. You're literally working for other people. Oh, there you go. On several occasions, Britney drew attention to the fact that she was making money for other people while being refused access to her own fortune, that at this particular time was estimated to be $60 million. Court documents revealed showed that the star was given an allowance of only $2,000 per week, while her father got $16,000. Let me read that and make sure I read that shit right. It was shown that the star was given an allowance of $2,000 per week. Okay. Her allowance was $2,000 per week, while her father's salary as a conservator was about $16,000 per month. Now, let me do the math for you. 2, 4, 6, 8. So that means if Britney got $2,000 weekly, she would have made, $8,000 a month. That's what she was allowed. But her father, who was doing absolutely nothing, wasn't singing, wasn't dancing, wasn't producing, wasn't managing, wasn't doing a damn thing. He was getting $16,000 a month, plus money for office space rentals, and a percentage of various deals signed for his daughter, and anything she made off the concerts, the t-shirts, all that shit, the dolls. He was getting a percentage of all of that, while she only got $2,000 a week. Like, that was it. And like I said, all the credit cards she had was canceled. I think she was only allowed 1 or something that was monitored, and even that, she couldn't have her hands on it. That someone else was in charge of her credit card or some bullshit. This shit was crazy. And this is the best comment here. I shouldn't be in a conservatorship if I can work and provide money for other people. Let me read that shit again. I shouldn't be in a conservatorship if I can work and provide money for other people. Talk your shit, Britney. Like she said, it's Britney, bitch. Noting that she had worked since she was 17 years old. Back up, baby. You were working since you were buses, everything, to be told I'm not good enough. For those who did not hear that shit, this is the best line of this whole video, of her whole life. I'm gonna read the whole shit again. I shouldn't be in a conservatorship if I can work and provide money for other people. Noting that she had worked since she was 17 years old, it makes no sense whatsoever for the state of California to sit back and literally watch me with their own two eyes make a living for so many people and pay so many people, like truck drivers, trucks, buses on the road with me, to be told I'm not good enough, to be told do more, do more, do more. But I'm great at what I do, and I allow these people to control what I do. Ma'am, it's enough. It makes no sense at all. I mean, you know. Then she's not finished. Britney said that at one point her father had forced her to go to rehab at a cost of $60,000 and seemed not to care about the stress it caused her. The control he had over someone as powerful as me, he loved the control to hurt his own daughter. 100,000% he loved it, she said. I cried on the phone for an hour and he loved every minute of it. She added that her father worked me so hard and claimed he threatened to punish if she didn't follow his orders. Britney said her acting conservator, Jody Montgomery, has put her in therapy twice a week in a location where photographers can follow her. And that's another thing, like she couldn't even go to therapy without people at their front door. It's like her team knew what they were doing. The more exposure, the more money, the more money, the more deals. It's crazy. Yesterday, Paparazzi showed me coming out of the place literally crying. She said it's embarrassing and it's demoralizing. Right? That's inhumane. You, like, again, no privacy. Demoralizing isn't even like the right word for me. I deserve privacy, she continued saying. And she would prefer to continue therapy at home, at peace and quiet. And then she goes, I actually do know I need a little therapy, she told the judge with a laugh. We all need therapy. We all need someone to speak to. And especially if you're a celebrity and have the world on your shoulders. You know, so anyway, I'm not gonna hold you guys any longer. You guys know what happened. Like I said, you know, she was exploited for money. The paparazzi did her wrong. Her family did her wrong. And even after she kept telling her story and kept getting her help, she kept still getting muted, and no one helped her. And it's crazy. Oh, at the start of the hearing, a lawyer for the conservatorship raised concerns about Britney's testimony being public, but she disagreed. It's funny how like everything in her life can be public, but the moment she wants to say something, it's like, nah, shut her up. I feel like it should be an open court hearing, and they should listen and hear what I have to say. Britney added that she felt compelled to address the judge in the case because Brenda Penny, for a second time, having previously raised her concern in a closed-door hearing in 2019. I don't think I was heard on any level when I came to the court the last time, she said. You know what, I commend Britney, the same judge, and she's telling that judge, you know, when I was here the first time, you didn't hear me, you didn't want to hear me, I wasn't heard, you did absolutely nothing. And I love the fact that she said, I can't understand how the state of California is gonna sit here and watch this shit happen. Some of Britney's demands were relatively simple. She wants to get her nails done, visit friends who live 8 minutes away, and be driven in her boyfriend's car and drive her own fucking car. But her main goal was to end the conservatorship without having to be evaluated. It's so funny. Think about it. At the age you are now watching me, could you imagine someone telling you when you can shower, when you don't, you know, who you can sleep with, who you can't? Like, what the fuck? I've done a lot of research, ma'am, and there's a lot of judges who do end conservatorship for people without them having to be evaluated all the time, ma'am. I shouldn't be in a conservatorship if I can work, ma'am. I truly believe this conservatorship is abusive, ma'am. I don't feel like I can live a full life, ma'am. I deserve to have a life, ma'am. And you know what? I'm glad. You know what? And I would have been like, ma'am. Like, because it's the same judge you spoke to before and didn't do a goddamn thing. This judge knew she was working towards residency, all of it. How she let it. Listen, I bet you that judge was sleeping with the father. That's my own speculation. I didn't read it. That's just my own, you know what? Let me get off